Look like that everybody is patiently waiting.
The lady present at the table looks like is going to fall asleep.
In this video, we'll look at two students answering the speaking questions parts 3 and 4 for CELPIP, where you have a picture. One of these two students does better than the other, and you want to find out who that's going to be. We're also going to observe their best and worst practices so you can replicate just the good ones, and we'll give them a score at the end of each recording. Let's play student A's recording right here.
The curious picture portrays the scene of a bustling line.
I didn't understand the second word, the curious picture or the previous picture. If it's previous, it's okay, but curious pictures are not curious. That's a grammar mistake. But the bigger issue is, it is unclear. There's a clarity issue here. And throughout the speaking, you will notice that from the student. The good thing is he is speaking at a steady pace. That helps usually with clarity. But the bad thing is the student is mumbling some of the words. So the previous curious, it's kind of swallowed. The easy fix to this is to open your mouth wider whenever you speak so your words come out clear. The student needs to do that. But the other good thing down in the sentence was the usage of the word bustling. That was surprising. So the student used bustling. It's an advanced word. It's an adjective which people rarely use. So that's a good thing. But again, there's a clarity issue. So good and bad so far.
In one of the shopping mall, it's look like that everybody is patiently waiting.
Patiently shopping, clarity issues. The words are not coming out clearly enough. And there are some grammar mistakes. But the student said patiently. And that's good. That's an adverb, which people rarely use. But the student is aware that he's supposed to do adjectives, adverbs to give a better description of the picture. So content is good, but just throughout the speaking, issues are coming up.
In a queue to get their turn. On the billing counter, lady standing with a white gown and wearing a uniform.
Very good description of the lady wearing a uniform with a white gown. So you always want to describe people in the picture, not just say the lady is doing this. He's also pointing out the direction on the right side, left side, whatever he said. Pointing directions is always needed in parts 3 and 4, CELPIP speaking. But again, some tiny grammar issues happening throughout.
She is scanning all the item and tally the things accordingly the billing.
So he said tallying, I think, the things. And then that sounded weird because things is not clear enough. It's not descriptive. And then he simply added something like the billing things. And that's kind of an awkward finish because he's trying to add an extra detail. If you want to add an extra detail, you should add it properly. Don't rush it in. You could say it looks like it's some billing items. Do a complete sentence. Rushed sentences will sound rushed and you will lose marks if you do those.
And on the background, it can say that this sale is ongoing for this store.
So he's saying sell, right? That's what we heard, but he means sale. So again, incorrect accent there, which is causing troubles in clarity. Same problem. The student used the word and that is going to make him lose marks here for sure, because he just moved from one major sentence to another major sentence using and. You should use a connector. Furthermore, likewise, moreover, also, that wasn't used. In fact, the student might not even have to use anything. He was saying something like on the back or on the other hand, whatever he said there. That's good enough to start a new sentence. You should just have paused there instead of saying and. But by saying and, it's first of all a structure issue. You're not using good connectors. Secondly, it's a grammar issue because and with two major sentences, it's too much. It's now a run-on sentence.
So that might be the reason to get a long queue.
Instead of so, you could use words like therefore, hence, consequently.
As everybody wants some discounted item. Overall, it's look like that everybody shop their items, whatever the necessary, and enjoying the shopping.
Grammar mistakes towards the end, lots of grammar mistakes throughout the answer. The good thing is the student, again, had the right structure in mind. His approach is good because at the end he tried to finish with overall, so try to get a conclusion in there, and he got it in there. It's just there's some grammar mistakes there, making it look ineffective. One other really good thing the student did is he was trying to say it can be seen. He used a phrase like that, and that's excellent. Students often ignore passive voice sentences. You use mostly active voice. I can see her doing this, he's doing this, she's doing this. But use a range. That's what the marking criteria tells you time and time again. It can be seen, it can be observed, it is obvious, it's clear, it can be noted. Those are passive voice phrases, and you should use a mixture of active and passive. So good attempt in terms of the effort, the idea, and intention is good. But he needs more practice to get them perfectly in. With these many mistakes, and especially because of the clarity issues, the student will score a 7, in my opinion, in this answer. And again, that is, for me, it's like giving too much, because with those mistakes, I would probably lean more towards a 6, but I'm giving him a 7 because he did use a good structure, and he was using a good range, especially trying to use adjectives and adverbs, giving him those marks for a range. All right, let's play the recording from the next student.
Most likely, in the next little while, the lady present at the table looks like is going to fall asleep.
In the next little while, good phrase. Most likely, good phrase. It's an adverb with the likely. And I think he said something like in the present time, defining the time as well. Very good. Again, good start, good, unique, advanced phrasing, natural start, steady pace. And what is the biggest difference between these two students? This student here is very, very clear, speaking directly into the microphone, and also you can sense it. He's opening his mouth wider. You see how much of a difference that makes.
She looks disinterested from the beginning of time.
Disinterested is great. It's an adjective. From the beginning of time, that would be like evolution, right? So that's an incorrect phrase there. But you could have said beginning of the party, beginning of the day, based on the picture.
And might fall asleep as soon as the conversation ends with the.
This is part 4, CELPIP speaking. So he's using words like might, most likely, which are great words, very fitting for this part, instead of using something like will, because will is certain. But we're always predicting here, so using words that are may, might, probably are good word choices.
Man at the left-hand side. Also, most of the people in the picture looks disinterested or bored. Therefore, there is a high chance that everybody could leave the room.
Also was a good connector at the start. Therefore was good connector in the middle when he's trying to do the conclusion. He's giving adjectives. People look bored, so describing them. He is giving reasoning, like because they're bored, therefore they might leave, whatever the reason was there. But he's connecting the cause and effect, not just saying this is the situation, but this is why this is the situation. Some grammar mistakes, though. While speaking, he's making some mistakes.
And head to their homes. Furthermore, the man who's taking down the notes at the table could pack his bags and prepare himself to leave the place. Overall, everyone seems to leave the premises within no time.
I think there's a grammar mistake there too. It should be something, I think he's trying to say they will leave. So it looks like they're preparing to leave, or it looks like they will be leaving in the next few moments. So I think he had that mistake and another mistake. Both these mistakes happen. I'll tell you that mistake. They happened because it looks like he's rushing right now. You see, he just finished at 59 seconds. And that's because it's, again, while you're speaking, some things come up, you want to say them, and you don't pace yourself well enough. So at the end, you might just run into an awkward sentence like this one. Unfortunately, it creates a bad ending impression. But the other mistake that the student made was, it's not really even a mistake. It's more of an area of improvement. In the second last sentence, he gave a prediction, like this is what will happen. But only in this sentence, he never explained why. It would be much better if you always say, this will happen, or people will likely do this because, or as, or since, and always give that rationale. And the student couldn't do that because he was again rushing, as apparent from the end of the recording. So always give yourself that enough time, enough pace. Leave a buffer of 5 seconds before finish time. Don't really target 1 minute, target 55 seconds. So you always have room. But this student obviously performed better, lesser mistakes, good approach, more clear. However, given the amount of mistakes, especially the awkward ending, even though there were not too many mistakes, this student will still not get a 9 in my books. I'm going to score him 8. He needs to at least get the ending right here for me to get a 9, and then fix at least 2 to 3 more grammar mistakes to get a 10. Otherwise, he's pretty good, almost there, needs just some polish up in his skills. So guys, make sure you also assess yourself like this at home, record yourself, play yourself, and evaluate yourself. Please like, share, and comment especially if you have any questions. I try my best to make sure I get back to everybody within 2 weeks or lesser, ideally. All right, guys, thank you for your support. Really appreciate it.